Pause for just a moment. This isn't just another message. This is God Himself speaking to your heart. Invite me into your struggles, and stop overlooking the blessings I've already placed in your path. You've been carrying burdens alone, crying out for answers, strength, and breakthrough. But heaven is waiting on one thing, your invitation. God is not distant. He's ready to step in. But He will not force His way in. Don't miss what He's trying to do in your life. Open your heart. Lean in. What you're about to hear could be the shift your soul has been pleading for. I am with you always. Matthew 28:20. And I invite you to invite God into your difficulties, for it is in those very moments of struggle that He desires to meet you with His power, His grace and His love. One God understands your struggles first. My child, know that God understands your struggles. I know that when you are in the midst of hardship, it can sometimes feel as though no one truly understands what you are going through. You may feel isolated, misunderstood, or even abandoned, but I assure you that the Father sees every tear, every heartache, and every challenge you face. He is not distant or unaware of your pain, rather He is deeply moved by it. In Hebrews 4:15 it says, for we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way just as we are, yet He did not sin. I walked this earth as a man, and I experienced pain, rejection, suffering, and betrayal. I know what it is like to face difficulties, and I understand your struggles intimately. Because of this you can come to me with your burdens, knowing that I not only understand, but I care deeply about what you are going through. You do not have to face your difficulties alone. I invite you to bring them to me, to place them at my feet, and to trust that I will carry you through too. God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you are facing difficulties, it is easy to feel weak and powerless. You may feel as though you don't have the strength to keep going, that the challenges before you are too great, and that you are too small in comparison. But here is it's easy to feel weak. Beautiful truth. God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. The Father does not expect you to face your difficulties in your own strength. In fact, He invites you to come to Him in your weakness, so that His power can be displayed in your life. It is often in the moments when you feel most broken, most vulnerable, and most helpless that God does His greatest work. Think of the Apostle Paul, who faced countless hardships, including imprisonment, beatings, and shipwrecks, yet in the midst of all his struggles he wrote, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. It is not your strength that will carry you through, it is God's strength within you. When you invite God into your difficulties, you are inviting Him to be your source of strength. You are acknowledging that you cannot do it on your own, but that with His power you can endure anything. In your weakness He is strong. 3. God will give you peace in the storm. Difficulties often bring with them a sense of chaos and confusion. The storms of life can cause your heart to be troubled and your mind to be filled with anxiety. But my child, when you invite God into your difficulties, He will give you peace in the midst of the storm. In John 14:27, I said, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. This peace is not the absence of problems, but rather the presence of God in the midst of your problems. It is a peace that surpasses All understanding Philippians 4:7 a.m. Peace that can calm your heart. Even when the waves of life are crashing all around you, when you invite God into your difficulties, you are inviting Him to speak peace over your circumstances. Yes, you are asking Him to quiet the storm within you, even if the storm around you continues to rage. My peace is a gift that I freely offer to you, and I invite you to receive it today. For God will provide wisdom and guidance. Difficulties often bring uncertainty. You may find yourself in situations where you don't know what to do or which path to take, but when you invite God into your difficulties, He will provide you with wisdom and guidance. In James 1:5 it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. God is not a God of confusion, but a God of clarity and direction. When you come to Him with your questions, your doubts, and your uncertainties, He will lead you in the way you should go. You may not always receive immediate answers, but know that God's timing is perfect. Trust that He is guiding your steps even when the path ahead seems unclear. He will open doors that need to be opened and close doors that need to be closed. As you lean on Him and invite Him into your decisions, He will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-65. God will bring healing and restoration. Some difficulties come in the form of brokenness, broken relationships, broken hearts, broken dreams. You may be carrying wounds that are deep and painful, wounds that have been caused by the trials of life. But my child, when you invite God into your difficulties, He will bring healing and restoration. In Psalm 147:3 it says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. The Father is a healer. He is a restorer of what has been lost, broken, or damaged. No wound is too deep, no heartache too great, and no situation too far gone for God to heal. When you invite God into your pain, you are inviting Him to do a work of restoration in your life. This healing may not always happen in the way you expect or on the timeline you desire, but know that God is faithful. He will take the broken pieces of your life and weave them together into something beautiful. Romans 8:28.6. God will use your difficulties for His glory. One of the most profound truths about inviting God into your difficulties is that He can take your pain and use it for His glory. What the enemy intended for evil, God can turn around for good. Genesis 50:20. The challenges you face, the trials you endure, and the suffering you experience are not in vain. God is able to use every difficulty to accomplish His purposes in your life and in the lives of others. Your story of overcoming, of trusting God in the midst of hardship, can be a powerful testimony to those around you. When you invite God into your difficulties, you are allowing Him to use your life as a witness to His goodness, His faithfulness, and His power. Remember the story of Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and thrown into prison. Yet through all of his difficulties, God was working behind the scenes, preparing him for a position of leadership that would save many lives. God can take the most painful parts of your story and turn them into a testimony of His grace and redemption. 7. God will walk with you every step of the way. Finally, my child, know this: God will walk with you every step of the way. You may feel like you are facing your difficulties alone, but I promise you are not. In Isaiah 43:2 it says, when you pass through the Waters I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire you will not be burned, the flames will not set you ablaze. No matter what you are going through, I am with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:6. When the waters rise I will be your anchor, when the fire rages I will be your shield. You are never alone in your difficulties, for I am walking beside you, carrying you when you are too weak to carry yourself. In conclusion, invite God into your difficulties, my dear child. I know that life is not always easy. I know that you face struggles, challenges, and moments of deep pain, but I want you to know that you do not have to face these difficulties on your own. I am inviting you to invite God into your difficulties, to allow Him to be your strength, your peace, your guide, and your healer. You are not forgotten, and you are not abandoned. God is with you, and He desires to meet you in the midst of your struggles. As you invite Him into your difficulties, you will find that He is faithful to carry you through, to provide for your needs, and to use your story for His glory. Remember, my child, that in your weakness God is strong, in your confusion God is wise, in your pain God is a healer, and in your difficulties God is present, walking with you every step of the way. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Invite me into your difficulties, and you will find God has spoken. Now it's your turn to respond. He's not asking you to fix everything. He's asking you to let Him in. Your struggles were never meant to be carried alone, and His blessings were never meant to go unnoticed. If this message touched your spirit, like it as a declaration of your faith. Comment with, God, I invite you in, to open your heart in obedience. Share this with someone who's silently struggling. You may be the reminder they've been praying for. And subscribe to stay connected to the voice of God as He continues to guide, comfort, and bless you. Don't walk through the fire alone, walk with the one who controls it.